Hello and welcome back to Mr. E's Mysteries and Magics. In this video, I am probably going to be biting off more than I can chew because I'm going to be doing a variation of a classic card effect called Out of This World. Out of This World was created by Paul Curry in 1942, and it is such a versatile idea that it has created its own family of magic effects based on those principles from so long ago. So much so that a company called Magic Apple has recently published a book called The Best of All Worlds, the 10th Anniversary Edition, something of a reprint really. Absolutely huge book. It contains something like 30 different variations of this particular magic effect. And I am not saying that mine is the best by any stretch. I am just saying that this is one that's very basic, and it gives people, particularly magicians of more modest capabilities like myself, an understanding of what those principles are. So anyway, they've got this gigantic book, and if you're interested in it, I recommend that you go to Magic Orthodoxy's YouTube channel. There's a link below to a review that he has done recently of that very book. It's, again, very big, hardcover, big, thick book, $52 American, and just to give you an idea, that's 46.5 euros and something like 41 pounds, 9 shillings in the UK, I think, something like that, if my conversion is correct, and about $73 Canadian. It is a little bit on the expensive side, but not really for what you get. They could easily have charged $100 for this particular book. Anyway, check it out on Magic Orthodoxy and give a listen to his review of that particular book. So anyway, we're going to move on, and before we get too far involved, I should point out that some of the people who have chapters in the book are Paul Curry himself from his previous writings, a fellow named Juan Tamariz who created the Mnemonica stack, and I learned this particular version from Joshua J. He's got a chapter in the book as well. So that gives you some idea of the quality that you'll find in the book. For this particular video, I'm going to be using the Richard Turner cards from Bicycle. You get this little ad card about, with Richard's name on it, and then on the back of the ad card is this nice little message from Richard. If you can see, you won't be able to read it, but you can probably see that there's some writing in script on there. The deck comes with a pair of identical jokers, so you can do torn and restored card tricks or whatever you want to do. Pretty lousy for color changes, but you can do other things with them. And it comes also with a gaff card like this. Okay. Also comes in blue, by the way. And both decks, red or blue, come with a gold seal and this little gold starburst that says traditionally cut for the professional. And that allows you to do more precise handling of the cards, allows you to do faro shuffles a little bit more easily than you would with the cards that you buy at the department store, the more generic Bicycle cards. These are generally, general speaking, Bicycle rider backs, but they are also just a hair thicker than the standard, and you can really feel it, and they're really great cards to do a presentation with. Other than that, the tuck cases are really just straightforward, nothing fancy about those. So anyway, these cards go for about $5, a little bit more expensive than the standard ones. Again, that's about 4.5 euros, about somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 pounds in the UK and $7 Canadian. I would like to point out that both the book and these decks of cards are available through RP Magic Shop, which is my sponsor. I did actually purchase these cards there at RP Magic Shop. The book alone at $52 US means that you get free shipping because he has free shipping for orders in the United States of $40 or more. So the book alone is worth free shipping from Rich at RP Magic Shop, and I don't get any benefit from it, but if you do ever order anything from him, just tell him that Mr. E sent you from his YouTube channel. He'll know who I am, and again, I get no benefit from it. It'd just be nice if you let him know. So anyway, his website is linked below as well. So anyway, on to the effect itself. Now, this is not an effect that I do all the time. I wait for the right moment to do this, and that moment is usually somewhere maybe halfway through a presentation or at the end, when I get skeptical people who say things like, ah, you're using a trick deck, or you're doing sleight of hand, blah, 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 blah. And that's when I say to them, no, magic doesn't come from a deck of cards. It doesn't come from sleight of hand. It comes from in here. Now, you can't see me doing this on screen, but I'm touching my heart. I mean, if I did this where you could see me, I'd be touching my stomach, okay? So it's like saying, okay, yeah, magic comes when you throw up. That's not what I want to do here. So anyway, I tell them it comes from up here. Now, I should point out before I go on, I'm one of those magicians who likes to mess with people's heads. I am not one of those magicians who says, yeah, it's all sleight of hand, it's all practice, trickeration, and that kind of jazz. No, no. I want people walking away going, wait a minute. Did I really just see what I thought I saw? And how on earth did that happen? That's impossible. I can't understand how you're doing. I actually did this once, and the guy just went, huh? And walked away like that. He was just left me laughing. He was just so dumbfounded. Literally couldn't speak. So that's the kind of attitude I take. And this is one of a couple of different magic effects that I use to prove to people that magic, prove again with quotes too, that magic comes from people and not from cards or hands, because they're going to do most of the work. Okay, so I explained to them, yeah, it comes from in here, and I'm going to prove that to you right now. You're going to help me out with something, and I have my two spectators ready. And as I'm telling them this, I'm shuffling the cards, and you know, talking about how magic comes from the heart, and they may not even know that they have magic abilities. So I'm going to put these out of the way for now, and I'm going to say that we have two spectators here. I'm going to call them person one and person two. Yeah, I know, yeah, real clever, right? So I hand the cards to person one, and I said, what I want you to do is put the red cards down here. Oh, another thing I almost forgot. After I've done the shuffle, we tell them, all right, we're going to cut the cards as well, okay? Again, that's important. You want to mess them up, the shuffle, the cutting of the cards and everything. And in the tutorial, I'll explain a little bit more about this in detail. Do the shuffle, you do the cut, you hand the cards to the person one, and you say, okay, here you go. Start putting red cards here and put a pile of black cards here. But don't think about it. Make it come from here, not from here or your head or whatever. Just put the cards down. So they're dropping cards, and they're doing this kind of thing back and forth. And before you get too far along, they drop a card down and say, let's see how you're doing. You're putting red cards down here. How are you doing here? You're doing great. You got a red card down there. That's outstanding. So continue on. And they're going to be doing that. And then you stop and say, okay, give the cards to person two. Don't touch the cards yourself. Just have person one give the cards to person two. Person two takes them. And you say, now what I want you to do is I want you to put black cards here and red cards here. Okay, so off they go. And they're doing this kind of number, and they're feeling it from their heart that this is coming out of here, and they're not thinking about it, and they're just dropping the cards. And after a while you say, wait, stop a second, let's take a look and see how you're doing. And you pick up a card and you say, now you're supposed to be putting black cards on this pile. You are doing great, that's outstanding. And then they'll finish up, and they put the cards wherever they want, and then you're done. You've got two nicely stacked sets of cards here, and you square them off. And now you say to them, okay, mathematically speaking, the number of mistakes is significant. Now what we've done is, if the cards are done correctly and you really had the right feeling coming from your heart, all the red cards will be together and all the black cards will be together in this pile, and the same here. All the red cards and black cards will be separated from each other. If you have 6 to 10 mistakes, then I think you and I should go to your friend's house, play some poker, and I'll be betting on you because we'll walk out with most of the money if you have that few mistakes. 11 or more mistakes is pretty much what one would expect, because just by odds alone, that's how many you would expect. If there are 5 or fewer mistakes between the two piles, we're going to Vegas, and you're going to tell me what to bet. Okay, so let's see how you did. So you pick up one of the piles, and you lay the cards out. And by gosh, look at that. All the red cards are together. And so are all the black cards. And now already they're going, oh my gosh, what's going on here? At this point you say to them, look, we're halfway through. You didn't make any mistakes. We're really well on our way to 5 or fewer mistakes. We only have half the deck to go through. Let's see how that worked out. So you flip the cards over and off you go again. Sure enough, all the red cards are together. Let's see how the black cards made out. And there they are. All the black cards are together. Not a single mistake when the odds say that there should be 11 mistakes or more. Not a single one. Unbelievable. Now this is when they start going, huh? And start walking away. And you tell them, see that? Magic comes from within your heart. It doesn't come from the cards. Doesn't come from my hands. I never touched the cards. I didn't put them down. You did. All I did was shuffle them up for you and hand them off. And once I handed them off, I never touched them. You did all the magic. And they're going, oh my gosh, I don't understand. And that's when you really leave them baffled.